Hello friends, welcome to Insight Psyche Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about simultaneous elections. Let's see the title of the topic, that is simultaneous polls or simultaneous elections. In this video, first we are going to check the video components. Video components are the learning outcomes of this video. So first we will discuss about the context, why it is in news. The context is the commission which led by previous former President of India, Nath Kovind. So Nath Kovind Commission, they given their report on the simultaneous elections. So that is the reason now we are discussing about this particular topic. Then we will discuss about what is simultaneous elections. That means what is the concept of simultaneous elections. Then how historically simultaneous elections were there and how the link disconnected between the Lok Sabha and Assembly. After that we will discuss about simultaneous elections in India and what are the benefits of simultaneous elections and what are the challenges in the simultaneous elections. After that we will discuss about international practices, like how other countries are following. Are there any countries which are following this kind of templates such as simultaneous election? Then finally we will discuss about this commission recommendations. What are these commission recommendations we will discuss. Okay. So before all, first we will try to understand who are the members of this commission. Okay. So the committee on simultaneous elections, members are Nath Kovind, Honorable Farmer, so President of India, then Harish Salve. So Harish Salve actually even he argued the case on behalf of Kulbhushan Jadhav in International Court of Justice. Then Amit Shah, Honorable Home Minister of Union Government, then Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Ghulam Nabi Azad and N.K. Singh. Actually N.K. Singh, he used to be the member of Finance Commission as well. Then Subhash Kashyap, he used to be the Lok Sabha Secretary General. Then Sanjay Kothari, Arjun Ram Meghwal and finally Nitin Chandra. So these are the members in this committee, and this committee is headed by former President of India Nath Kovind. Okay, now let's see. First we'll try to understand the context. I already mentioned to you, but let's see. The government appointed committee which was headed by former President of India Nath Kovind, they explored all the possibilities regarding the one nation one election and they submitted their report. Okay, they submitted their report. Now as an aspirant, first you have to know what is simultaneous election. We have to understand simultaneous election in two aspects. Okay, let's see what are the two aspects. Simultaneous election. Sometimes in news you will see this as one nation one election as well. Both names are same. Okay, simultaneous election. Simultaneous elections can be in two aspects. One is election to Lok Sabha and Assembly simultaneously. Election to Lok Sabha and Assembly simultaneously. This is one way of conducting simultaneous election. The other one is simultaneous election to Lok Sabha, Assembly and local governments also. Local governments. In this case, Lok Sabha and Assembly elections will be conducted simultaneously and within 100 days, local government election will be conducted. Actually, the second model, it requires more constitutional amendments. Because here two constitutional bodies are involving. Lok Sabha and Assembly elections would be conducted by Election Commission of India, whereas the local government elections would be conducted by state election. So because of the two constitutional bodies are involving, it requires so many constitutional amendments. Tell me students, which article deals with the State Election Commission? So these are the two aspects this committee explored and they given recommendations in relevant of these two aspects as well. Okay, let's see. Next, simultaneous polls. Already we discussed what is the idea of simultaneous polls. Then the issue. Okay, with respect to simultaneous elections, let's check the history of the simultaneous elections. Actually, first elections in India to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it was held in 1952. So the first Lok Sabha 52 to 57 and second Lok Sabha 57 to 62 and the third Lok Sabha 62 to 67. Up to third Lok Sabha, there used to be simultaneous election to both Lok Sabha and assemblies. But after the 67 Lok Sabha election, that Lok Sabha supposed to be dissolved in 72. But because of the Bangladesh Liberation War and defeating the Pakistan, then Indira Gandhi government, they decided to go for early election. That means the Lok Sabha which is supposed to be dissolved in 72, they dissolved it in 71 and they went for early election. So that resulted to disconnect between Lok Sabha and so many assemblies as well. Then the Lok Sabha which formed in 71, it's supposed to be there till 76, but due to the emergency that extended to 1 year 77. So because of that further disconnected happened because of these reasons. And you know that during the Vajpayee government as well, when Vajpayee was formed, government was formed initially for the first time, at that time Lok Sabha was dissolved as well. So because of the repetitive dissolution of Lok Sabha, the connectedness between the assembly and Lok Sabha was missing out. So that is how the simultaneous election concept so disconnected. That is the historical background. And let's see. So normally if elections conducted in both assembly and Lok Sabha simultaneously, then the expenditure will be shared by both union government and that respective state in 50-50% each. If Lok Sabha elections are conducted only in the state, then the entire expenditure will be by union government, and if the state assembly elections are going only, then the expenditure will entirely bear by the state government. Okay. Next, simultaneous elections till 1967. After that, repetitively because of early elections of Lok Sabha, this connectedness got missing out. I already explained to you. So how the idea of simultaneous elections got evolved. So first we can say that Election Commission annual report in 1983 and the Law Commission report in 1999, they mainly suggested regarding the significance of simultaneous elections. Tell me students, Law Commission, what is the nature of Law Commission? Okay, whether it is a constitutional body or statutory body or executive body. Actually in 2023 UPSC prelims, they asked question on Law Commission. Next, Niti Aayog prepared one report in 2017, and even Prime Minister also mentioned about this simultaneous election in his Prime Minister address in 2016. Law Commission in 2018, they recommended that around 5 constitutional amendments are required to materialize this simultaneous elections. And not only the constitution, even we have to amend so other things as well. What are they? That is Representation of People Act 1951, it has to be amended, and Lok Sabha rules and assembly rules, they have to be amended as well. So by amending all these things only, we can make sure the simultaneous elections into reality. That we have to understand. Next, simultaneous elections. So how you can go for simultaneous elections? There are 2 ways, okay, regarding the simultaneous elections. First, for example, now Lok Sabha elections are happening in 2024. Okay. Next Lok Sabha elections will be in when? 2029. Okay. So before 2 years, okay, that means in 2027 or 2028, and after 2 years, that is 2030 and 2031. So whichever the state assemblies, they are finishing their tenure, okay, all of them, they will be conducted in 2029. That means in 2029 Lok Sabha elections plus 50% of the states will go for elections, and rest of the 50% of the states, they will go to elections in 2031. Okay, this is the model number 1. Model number 1. So in this model, like you are seeing here in this model, for every 5 years 2 times elections will be happened. One election Lok Sabha plus 50% of the state, and the another election 50% of the assemblies. This is one model. And the second model, model number 2. Second model will be Lok Sabha elections conducted in 2024, and in 2029 along with Lok Sabha, all the assemblies will go for elections. All the assemblies will go for elections. This is the another model. Okay. So if this is the case, then some of the assemblies, they have to be extended because they may end their tenure in 2028 or 2027, and some of the assemblies, they have to dissolve prematurely. This is the thing, because Article 83, okay, it says about Lok Sabha duration is 5 years, whereas regarding the assembly, Article 172 deals with the duration of assembly. But Article 85 is saying that Lok Sabha can dissolve before 5 years, and Lok Sabha can extend beyond 5 years only in the case of emergency. Same applies to assembly also. So assembly, Assembly, Article 174 is saying that Assembly can extend beyond 5 years only in the case of emergency. But when you are going for the simultaneous elections, we have to extend so many state assemblies. Like for example, Karnataka Assembly, which will dissolve in 2028. But if you would like to go for simultaneous elections, it has to extend 1 year. That means even though there is emergency, there is no emergency also, you have to able to extend the assembly duration. That means it requires the constitution amendment. That is what we are talking about. So it requires so many constitutional amendments. Next, let's see what are the other aspects. Then advantage. Why the people are so they are supporting the simultaneous elections. The first thing is simultaneous elections will ensure the less policy paralysis. Why? Because when regular elections are coming up, every time elections are announcing, model code of conduct will be implemented. Because of the model code of conduct, so many developmental works will be stopped. Because of that, policy paralysis will happen. That can be reduced. That is the first advantage. And when simultaneous elections are conducting, because of the reduction in the number of times of election, voter will be more preferred to vote. So that means voter turnout will be improved. And the third one, as the number of elections are getting reduced, the hate speech, which normally happens in the election time, that hate speech incidents also will be reduced. And the spending of money also will be reduced. And governments, they don't need to worry about the repetitive elections, and they can simply concentrate on the development works. Okay, these are some of the benefits of the simultaneous elections. Of course, simultaneous election is also having their own challenges. We will discuss about those challenges as well. So the first challenge is it has to go through so many constitutional amendments, like the duration of Lok Sabha and the extension of Lok Sabha, duration of assemblies, and how the assemblies can be extended beyond 5 years, like Article 174 just now we discussed, and regarding Article 356, like imposition of president rule. These are the constitution, these are the articles which supposed to be amended. That is one challenge. The second one is, the other challenges are, when simultaneous elections are happening, generally these national issues will overshadow the state issues. That means state governments are difficult to be judged based on state issues. National issues will dominate. Okay, so voter judgment on the state government performance, it is hindered by the union government. That is one disadvantage. And the second one is because of this one nation one election, obviously lot of logistical issues supposed to become. That means like security staff, EVM, as well as the voting staff, that on that particular day, voting day. So this staff issue, reduced accountability of government. When regular elections are there, obviously governments will be on toes. Okay, they are always active. That if the mandate is not if it goes wrong, then it will impact their political career as well. But if the elections are only for 5 years, that means for the initial 3.5 to 4 years, they least worry about the governance, because they know that anyhow elections are not coming up. When elections are not coming up, obviously the accountability will miss, and that when the accountability is missing out, then obviously they less fear about the people. That means they less fear about the voter. That is how accountability is missing out. And in some states, midterm elections may come. Sometimes assembly elections will come early. That means assemblies may dissolve before their 5 years. Then what will happen? Actually, regarding this particular Nath Kovind committee, they suggested that if any assembly is dissolved before 5 years, like for example, in 2023, elections conducted to Karnataka Assembly. So it's supposed to be there till 2028. Okay. For example, it extended 1 more year and it went to elections in 2029, like simultaneous elections. So 2029 Karnataka's assembly, it's supposed to be there till 2034. But rather than till 2034, if it dissolved in 2032 itself, then what will happen? So this committee is suggesting that conduct fresh election only for the remaining period. That means conduct elections, and that assembly will last only between 2032 to 2034. So again, it will match up with the Lok Sabha. That is the one idea suggested by this committee. Next, let's see international scenario, what the other countries are doing. Simultaneous elections are successfully implementing in countries like South Africa, where national election and provincial elections conducted simultaneously. Then Sweden, here even the local elections also will be conducted simultaneously with provincial as well as the national elections. Next, the key recommendations. Key recommendations of the committee are: number 1, yes, they strongly supported the restoring of simultaneous election. Second, these simultaneous elections, it can be done in two ways. That is, either the both Lok Sabha and Assembly, or Lok Sabha Assembly plus local government as well. Okay, so in two ways you can go for the simultaneous elections. Third recommendation, simultaneous election notification will be given by the president. Okay, whenever the Lok Sabha will be formed, from that date onwards, that like simultaneous elections date will be counted. That means from that day onwards, in the next 5 years, again new Lok Sabha will be formed along with the new assemblies. The tenure of the legislative assemblies, whichever the assemblies are running out before the Lok Sabha, they will be extended, and whichever the assembly is going beyond this 2029, they will be dissolved early. So that is the suggestions given by this one. And which constitutional amendments supposed to be amended, like Article 324 has to be included, because if you would like to conduct simultaneous election to panchayati as well as municipalities, if that is the case, then there must be a single voter card. Now we are having electoral roll, voter list, we are having two voter lists. One voter list is for Election Commission of India, that is for Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. The second voter list is generally, it is related to local governments. Okay, so if the simultaneous elections, if we are conducting Lok Sabha, Assembly and local governments simultaneously, then a single voter list has to be prepared. For that, we have to amend the constitution. Okay, and agencies, handling of agencies is going to be challenged, and this has to be taken care as well. So logistical planning should be in a better way. Electoral roll already we discussed. These are some of the recommendations recommended by this particular committee. Then what is the way forward? The way forward is this simultaneous election is related closely with the federal structure of the constitution. So it needs to be discussed and debated properly across all the political parties, as well as we have to take all the states into confidence. So this will make it easier to implement the idea in the country. So we have to follow the cooperative federalism in applying this one nation, one election. Okay, today's video question is: an election commissioner shall not be removed from office except on the recommendation of. Okay, election commissioner cannot be removed from his office except on the recommendation of whom? Main question. In view of the idea of holding simultaneous elections to both Lok Sabha and assemblies, what are the advantages and what are the challenges involved in simultaneous elections? This is the main question. As we reach to the end of this video, in this video we mainly discussed about Nath Kovind committee submitting their report regarding the simultaneous elections. Then we discussed about what is simultaneous election, then history of the simultaneous elections. Okay, after that we discussed about advantages of simultaneous elections and challenges. Then which constitutional provisions we have to amended, that we discussed. Then the recommendations of this Nath Kovind committee. So this is the detailed analysis regarding the simultaneous elections and Nath Kovind committee reports. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Jai Hind.